wanampatia Esther Mulusa. Find someone who fits the bill. Not necessarily a staunch supporter, but just someone who has some information, because there are certain good things that the government is doing. Look like I just
relax is not what you are doing when the KK chaps are in studio. Boss, there's no answer. The bottom line of it is, if somebody's going to come in and they're gonna take a stance and take their side, then they will come in and want to do that. A lot of times, seemingly, what I have noticed, and it could be that that's just what it is, whichever side is in power or is sitting in State House, the supporters of that person never come in and say anything. It's always the opposition that talks, and that should not be, because if you're saying that you want to have you want to hear all sides, then at some point those whoever is saying, okay, well, you are Azimio and I am X, then come in and talk about it, and we are willing to listen. We've never said we're not willing to listen.
But Professor Ojwang went to Spice FM.
Oh, he was deconstructed like a problem.
No, and that is the government in power.
Okay, no. But
he was deconstructed like a problem.
No, but I'm saying, I think I should have given a context. Was for here on the show. Anytime when we've had folks who, even when UK was in office, like you could not get a UK supporter to come in here and talk. I mean, and I don't know what it is. It's almost like, if I talk, then I may not say the right thing, or I'm scared. I don't know what it is. But if you're a supporter, then stand by your man.
But I think like there's that fear. Maybe there's that fear of being deconstructed. We're not here to deconstruct. We
anything. Just want to hear the other side.
But the only thing that we will not stand is like facts. Like if you come here with things that are not verifiably
we won't
true.
Stand alternative facts.
Yes,
okay,
we don't stand alternative facts, and not only us, our own audience will check.
Our audience is those chaps.
Yeah, they're very quick.
They throw things from left
and
not stones.
And I love that, because it holds us to a higher standard. We know we say anything, we are saying anything, and we're not sure. You have to say, this is what I'm saying, but I'm not sure. So that's where like I was coming on some very basic things that he was saying, and I'm like, and even in my mind, I almost want to, like push Akamwa Kenya and tell him, no, that's actually not factual. But then, like he would double down, and then now you don't know what to do, because you have to tell him that that's actually not accurate. Pablo is asking a very important question here. As you did say, as you say, you did not like how a show went or played out. What part of that blame do you apportion to yourselves? Let me say, me personally, like on that particular show, I did banter with Alan on the issue about death and everything, and he did an amazing and spectacular job on that. I did not necessarily banter, with him on the KK part. But sasa hapo pia, I'm gonna skumba half the blame to Onemic, because vile Onemic alinidescribe huyu ni msee wa KK. Yani I knew, today we are getting deconstructed.
Answers, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Wow. Like I'd even wear a virtual helmet. I knew we were getting deconstructed. The moment I knew there was a problem and no deconstruction will happen is when he said, oh, by the way, unajua mimi sitakuwa nikifuata news. Yeah. That was a red flag at the very beginning, and I knew hapa this thing is falling apart like a Malinze the cat in Achebe's book. But that was like a lesson learned, but we still we would love to have a KK person. We would love to get deconstructed, on some of the issues we have against the government. Afro-Jamaican kind of liked Ruto, but now he's starting to have some issues with him, but he still likes the housing levy.
Okay.
Yeah, Afro-Jamaican still likes the housing levy. Let's hope it works.
But remember, he's coming from a space where a housing levy is in place and works.
Yeah.
That that it's very, very different when you say that, like over here you have a social security system that works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you go and tell somebody, like for our parents, you tell them about NSSF. They're like, what the heck? They're like, no. Because even the people who they knew who were supposed to be collecting NSSF, if you did not come to Nairobi every month to follow your NSSF, uko unapata kitu. I had relatives who used to come to Nai every month to pick up NSSF stuff.
Yeah.
So it really did not make it made no sense for something that we said or that they put together and said, okay, this is in retirement. You're supposed to collect from this because you have been contributing to the fund.
Yeah.
So, and again, the first people who got NHIF, the NHIF that works now in Kenya versus the NHIF when it started, two totally different animals. And of course, NHIF is being improved every year. So, there's things that NHIF is doing, and it helps a lot of people. But sometimes you also have to understand and know how to work the system when you want to get treatment. There's certain things that you need to know. Get a treatment plan from a doctor, let the doctor write it out, then go to NHIF and say, hey, boss, bana, sasa hii mtalipa. And that's before you go in for the major treatment. Then once you have all of that and they've figured approval, ndio saa munenda hospitali ama you make sure that now your person is in a bed. There's some things that if you've not gone through it, you would never know. Because if somebody didn't tell you that you needed to get the treatment plan from the doctor and go to the NHIF person and get NHIF to pre-approve the treatment, not ati yuko hospitali ndio sawa unasema niko na kadi. The way we are used. Apana.
Okay. Now Pablo has some more comments here, and I think these are very good comments coming from Pablo. He says, I think the best way would be to ignite questions and promote an easy debate that doesn't appear like anyone is taking sides per se. One that would ensure both sides' views are heard. Also inviting someone as a staunch supporter, then it limits who can come forward. I think there is need to separate one's views from being a staunch supporter. Then Pablo further says, correct, Ali Badawi can't properly debate with someone who is not up to par with current affairs. Hao ni watu wa KOT that don't interrogate and look into the news before expressing verifiable opinion. That's fair enough, Pablo. Pablo nataka kupatia homework. I'm adding you to the homework nimempatia Esther Mulusa. Find someone who fits the bill. Not necessarily a staunch supporter, but just someone who has some information, because there are certain good things that the government is doing, but I think the reason why they're being buried is because there's a lot of spectacular things that are happening that are barring some of those good things that are happening, but we just need certain people. You see, like the way for example, Big Ted is employed by the government, but he's been able to come and articulate himself in very hostile spaces. He's been able to articulate that this and this and this is what we can do. Let's talk about, what's happening. Because sometimes we're not interested in what, like Moses Kuria said in this rally or Murkomen said in this other rally. We're interested to know, what programs are there, what's being implemented, how can we take advantage of them? Because sometimes it's just that simplicity that we want. We don't even want that siasa. So Pablo, if you know anyone, or you can get anyone who can be a constant balancing voice, we'd be more than happy.
No, in every research, there is an outlier. Maybe Big Ted is an outlier.
Why do you say Big Ted is an outlier?
It's I don't know. Kusabu, man, as you said, like there's so many things that are going wrong.
Yeah.
That they, it's hard to even pinpoint or pick one thing that be like, okay, yeah. Actually, this they're doing good.
And yes, Jemo, a neutral person. It's not me who's forcing him to say these things.
No.
Yeah, he's not been paid. We can't even afford him, even if we wanted to pay him.
No, but it's the truth, man. Like it's hard. It's really, really hard even I'm trying to think of like, okay, there's this notion, like I know this one mic might not like this, but so I was reading way back. I was reading about I think it's the Israeli, is it the Mossad or one of their
The intelligence
yeah,
services.
the intelligence services. So before they take action on something that might be controversial, maybe kill hypothetically, a scientist from a certain country who are making certain things that might be mass killing.
Just say Hamas.
So they would sit, 10 of them, 10 of the chiefs will sit, right? If all of them were agreeable on, okay, this is the action we should take, we have to take it, they will randomly pick one of them, and that one chief has to argue against why they should not do it, and give factual, like he has to argue like
on the other side.
yes,
Yeah.
we should not do this.